Peace and blessings. Keep up the lessons. This is your brother Taalib from the Brother Taalib Show. And this is your husband, and this is your father and family member, or Muslim brother. Just to know that this video that I'm going to show you of these brothers that you see here, they are from the Make Hijrah, channel. And there's a brother who's Pakistani background. He's optimized Muslim. He's with Optimized Muslim, I think is his channel, and he is basically interviewing. He interviewed another brother that I know in Egypt named Umar um, Abu Mansour. This is his kunya. Is his nickname as the father of Mansour, and then brother Hamza. Brother Hamza is from the UK, just like the brother who's Pakistani background from UK. But this was the ending part of it because I listened to most of the video. You can also go in and watch this video. It's called Optimized Muslim Interview with Make Hijrah, Why, How, and Where. And it's a question mark at the end. And that stuck with me because some of the stuff that was said, that was mentioned, and this goes out to my family even more, and as they watch it. And you can ask yourself the questions. Of course, I'm going to ask questions as well because I'm going to sit down with my own family, and we have our own meeting and discuss and ask questions about this. So you watch this video as a Muslim. This is for the Muslim because Hijrah is for the Muslim, and other people who want to go and make their understanding, and they want to watch this video, or they do watch this video, know that this is basically geared to the Muslim, but you can take it in another way, in a way that removing yourself from a place that is not conducive to your faith in your Creator. Okay, and that's what we as Muslims do, or we're supposed to do. And we have different situations, but the situations they have to be clear to us what would be the reason to remain in a non-Muslim country when there's plenty of Muslim countries throughout the world. And some of them might be some issues there, but several have good, stable countries, and we can make a living, we can do all, and even receive all the needs that we receive in these countries, such as the non-Muslim countries, as UK and America, even in the Caribbean. Okay? So, we have to ask ourselves these questions. But I want you to listen to the interview, the last part of the interview with Hamza and his brother, and the things that stuck with me, how you feel, and you question yourself. Those of you who watch this video. As for me and my family, we're going to have our own sit down. And, that's because we're Muslim. We're all Muslim. So we want to ask ourselves these questions. We're sitting in these lands, these non-Muslim lands. Why are we here? Why? And how do we make Hijrah is understood by some of us that already know, who have made Hijrah already and then even returned back here. And why are we here again? And we really have to ask that question. We really have to go in deep, I feel. And for me, I know that, as what the brother Hamza expresses, I'm on the same page with him, clearly, and maybe more, but because of my situation, financially, it is what it is, qadr Allah. But of me being able to make Hijrah again. But I know my position. I really do. And you have to ask yourself that question for sure, deep down in your heart, according to what the brother said. And many scholars and many other brothers sit down, da'is, whatever, students of knowledge sat down and went over this. And it has to sit with us really dearly. I mean, before that actual time comes, before it's too late for us to make any decision. Because for myself, I know I'm growing older. 52-year-old man. I'm not getting younger, I'm getting older. My body's clearly showing that. Not just the gray hair, in my beard. But I'm getting closer to death. I'm getting closer to meeting my Lord. And there's questions are going to be asked in the grave, and I have to be prepared for that. And I have to know: do I want to be here and be raised up here in the land of Kufr, or be raised up in the land of the Muslims? Even if I do die here, it will be the qadr. But is my effort to leave, or to just hang in there? I'm good and be settled in, or in other words, say complacent, because people who are complacent, they don't worry about all the bad stuff. They just go on and move on and say, okay, well, it is what it is. I'm gonna just keep on moving. I'm gonna get past all that bad. I'm gonna stay in my community with the Muslims and cover ourselves away and isolate ourselves from the non-Muslims, even though they control this country. And a lot of their legislation, their laws are coming against us and our faith, and chipping away at our values and culture of Islam. Islam has culture, has values, but are we compromising it? I don't know. You have to ask your question for yourself. But anyway, just listen in real quick, and that should be all.
A lot more. Obviously, you can agree with me on this, like I'm just trying to throw it out. So so then this whole journey and idea of making hijrah, it's not as far fetched because you've already changed a lot about your life completely, right? Made new friends, left that whatever. So and then I was thinking, whereas if you're a Muslim born here, it's very different because you get the analogy that I can give is like, you know, if you grow up and if you're a Muslim and you're in like a majority non-Muslim school, um, like let's say there's 2% Muslims, 98% non-Muslim, it can go one of two ways. Either you're slightly isolated and you retain your faith and culture somewhat, and you're like, you know, in that year 9, year 10, when people start going out drinking and stuff, you're like the guy who doesn't do that. And you can't mix in 100%, but alhamdulillah, you retain that kind of your being and stuff. The other way you can do it is if you have less of a strong personality, you're just gonna get sucked in. You're just gonna get sucked in, and like when like you go to uni, you ain't even gonna be a Muslim. Like I remember meeting someone at university. Sad story, but like his father was the first one who entered our kind of shared living space with his son, and he was like, "Where's the Qibla?" Like he was that one. No, he was that one, Bengali family, and we were like, and he's the one that made sure his son gets to share with other Muslims. After his dad went, I remember we walking to the local Tesco, and the guy was like, you know what, I don't even, he had like a Sussex accent, so you knew it. He's like, you know what, I don't even believe, I just do it for my father. And we were just like, I was and that's what happened there was he was part of the percent that like went to a white school, but I say white, I mean like non-Muslim school because they thought that was the better thing, take him out of the Asian community, right? And he just got sucked in. So, but anyway, bringing it back to the hijrah question was like someone who's, say, if you're born here and you're Muslim here, um, the throwback you have is that everyone else is Muslim and they're all here and they don't have an issue with it, right? Whereas if you're that kid in school and you see all the non-Muslims, the reason you don't go into all that is because you're like, I'm a Muslim. These are non-Muslims. You know what I mean? I have a different set of beliefs, and you can see that clear delineation. Whereas, say, if you're in a school where it's like majority Muslim or 50-50, you see all the other kids messing about and they're Muslim. So that takes away your main kind of little thing that's holding you. So in a way, that can act for you as well. And with the hijrah thing, it's like when you're in a community full of Muslims and they're all like happy-go-lucky getting on here, it's very hard, unless it's a personal reason, it's very hard to get that community buy-in, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I do. But the thing is this, it's like okay, this is like England is my town. I grew up here, everything was here, my children were born here, my parents, my family's here. I became Muslim, my family was accepting of me to become Muslim. Um, I had a very, very vibrant and open Muslim community that I was a part of. So the thought, the idea of actually, or the permissibility of being able to live here wasn't actually a thing until I just opened the Quran one day and I read that verse. And I think that type of epiphany, I think it's possible. Because when I read that verse, I was like, okay, now I have to question, even though my life is as good as it is, because I wasn't going through any type of hardship or detrimental, like, I wasn't depressed, I wasn't waking up in the morning and find myself sleeping on the roadside or anything like that. My life was alright. I just happened to open that Quran one day and come across that ayah, and the thought come into my mind for that split second, is it actually permissible for me to be here? And that type of epiphany can happen to anybody, whether you're born here, whether you're not born here, no matter what your cultural heritage is or nothing. If your Islam is important to anybody, that individual, come just reading that ayah. When you open that book and that ayah jumps out at you, or not jump out at you, dictates what your religion means to you. You see what I'm saying? I've read that ayah many times before, and it hadn't just an ayah. Okay, I know why the ayah is blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. Close the book, move on. On this particular day, read it, and the question came in my mind. Is it actually permissible for me, as a Muslim, to be here?
How long were you Muslim at that stage?
Oh, I was 1990, became Muslim in 1990. I left England 2010, 2011.
Okay, so so you were Muslim for like 20 years before.
Yeah, and everything was pushy, everything was nice, no big drama. 9/11 was a bump in the road, you know what I mean? But it wasn't nothing to. And it begged the question. That's why I started asking questions. I started reading, and the conclusion that I came, that, like Omar mentioned, that it should be taken on a case by case situation. But to me, when I looked at my case, I was thinking, regardless of who I'm married to, regardless of my children, like, in my eyes, my Lord is looking down at me and saying, Hamza, it's not permissible for you to be here. Whoever wants to come along for the ride with you, ahlan wa sahlan, they're welcome. Which is what the attitude I had. Okay, do you want to come with me? Because according to this, I shouldn't be here. If you want to come, you're welcome. Let's do this thing together. Yeah, but for me, I'm not allowed to. I can't be here. I can't call this my home. It's where I live, but it's not my home. And that's when my journey started. So whether, like yourself, like you were born Muslim, you have Muslim family, Muslim cultural background, etc., etc., etc. Just like it happened to me, bro, it can happen to you or people like us. It's just something that clicks and asks the question. You know what I mean? Forget about, okay, I'm living an alright life, you know what I mean? My family love me, I'm this, that, massive around the corner, I can work, I can eat, I can pay my bill. But how is the life I'm living now going to affect my hereafter? Once you answer that question, then fine. Then fine. You know? And that's how it hit me. It was like, boy. Yeah. Because like I could have, I was doing all right while I was here. But it was that question. What happens if I do die here? How will I be raised up? I might be arrogant enough to say to myself, well, when the angels come and ask me, who is your Lord? Who is the prophet? You know what I mean? I might be, I can answer that. You know what I mean? Okay, the next question is, so you were buried in Croydon Cemetery. Why are you here in Croydon Cemetery? You're a Muslim. Why are you not in wherever? And that's with the stuttering. And don't forget, we're going to be in the Bozak. Your mouth will be stitched open and your lid stitched shut. and your limbs are the one that's going to have to be able to talking for you, because the first thing that's going to want to come out of your mouth is a lie, because you know the situation you're in. So Allah make sure that your tongue and your mouth are sealed, and your limbs are the one that's going to bear witness for you. So I might want to make up an excuse of what the reason why I was buried in Croydon Cemetery was because I missed the ticket. But the truth of the matter was, the truth of the matter, which is what my limbs are going to testify and say, is I was all right here.
Yeah.
And that can happen to any of us, born Muslim, not born Muslim, revert or not. That's the fact in reality. We can't, like Allah knows best, of course. Allah knows best, of course. But we can't turn around and say, well, we can't explain to our Lord, well, Allah, you gave me the abundance. You gave me ni'mah. You gave me wealth. I was all right here. Why would I want to go against Pakistan? Do you know what I'm saying? That's because thinking, well, Ya Rob, you gave me all this sustenance. You gave me wealth. You gave me a property. You gave me a house. You gave me a good job. You gave me a good wife and plenty of children. So why would I want to move to Pakistan? You can't ask that quick. Well, the answers are in the book, bro. The answers are in the book. The answers are in the Sunnah.
Yeah. And mashallah, that definitely kind of hits home, because my assumption was that, as it was in my question, that perhaps you suddenly became Muslim and you're like, you know what? You know how like some people become Muslim, 6 months later they're like they've gone to Saudi Arabia or somewhere, and like I thought it was that kind of situation, but when you put it in this context, that you were Muslim for 20, 21 years before you kind of made the move, I feel like it is a traditional belief, no matter which faction of Islam or whatever, because one of the local masjids here, it's like a standard Indo-Pak kind of Braillery mosque, right? And just last Jummah, the Imam was talking about this. Funnily enough, he was talking about how you should be buried amongst Muslims. No, I don't want to say there was a hadith he mentioned, but I think he did mention a hadith. And then he was saying how our ulama have always said that once the need is over, you should try and you should try and make moves, essentially. And I was just thinking, out of that whole masala of people sat there, like they're gonna go back to their jobs, whatever. Like, how many people are gonna even dwell on it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though no one can say, like, no one can otherize it. No one can say, oh, people who have that belief, they say make hijrah. You know what I mean? Like, because this is their imam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's there, but then people just, it's like you said, it's all right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah. What? Okay, like he's probably. I don't know the brother, but imagine a situation now where he's been the imam there for years, and just out of the ulama have said that once the need is over, we should make. So, I only came here for a need then.
Yeah.
What was that need?
Yeah, that's the thing, because
no matter where you are in the world, yeah, your risk is always going to be given to you. No matter where you are, whatever's been written for you, you're going to get it. Unless Allah changes his mind and decides, no, you're not going to get it, you're going to get it. Yeah? So what was the need?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very easy to say. I'm not trying to trivialize people's life experiences or anything like that.
Yeah.
But if you break it down, this deen is simple, bro. Okay. It's like life. It's like, how can I say? Life is easy, but understanding how easy it is the difficult part. This deen is easy, but understanding how easy this deen is the difficult part. Because we, as human beings, we want to make things difficult. We want to conceptualize stuff. No, bro. As a Muslim, we belong in a certain part of the world, and if you're not in that certain part of the world, you have to make efforts to get there. And on top of that, Allah gives us reassurances that He's going to make it easy for us. Where is your shady parts? Where's the difficulty now? The only difficult part is the effort that you're going to make. That's the thing. Okay, well, I'm gonna. I heard some of the excuses were amazing. Like, I'm the oldest of 4, and I've got 2 younger sisters. and I have to stay here to get them married before I go. Or
That's actually that's more
do
that's
you know
quite
what
an
I'm
issue,
saying,
bro.
bro?
You know what I mean?
Was it? Another was my parents are old and I'm responsible for them. Okay, yeah, you are. Yeah, bring them with you. Well, they're not going to want to come. So whose problem is it now, then, bro?
Yeah,
Because what you're doing is not can be argued. What you're doing is Islamic duty
yeah,
to remove yourself from harm into somewhere that's safe, and you will explain to your parents, mom, dad, in contrary to what we understand, this place ain't good. Let's go back to Pakistan or Bangladesh. I got you, but you can live your last days where mama and baba used to be in the same village forever. I got you. You're going to be sorted out. Your health is going to be sorted out. I got you. Let's go. If they're talking like, well, boy, this is all I've known.
Now, I wanted to go back real quick because I just want to cue into what the ayat was that the brother was talking about, and I'll let the rest go back and finish out. Just give me a second, okay? I'm going to go back here um, and deal with it. Try to get to where the brother was at. All right.
Introduced me to Islam. I got involved with some brothers in an organisation trying to bring other Muslims together. And during that period of time, I was able to travel, not to very many places, but one place in the death and ask them, why are you here?
Okay, here
Things together. And during that period of time, I was able to travel, not to very many places, but one place in particular. I went to Sudan in 1994. And it wasn't, even though I had experiences of meeting other Muslims from different parts of the world, the actual thought of picking up my bags and moving to another country didn't actually hit home until one day I was just reading the Quran as you do, and I came across the ayat in the Quran that I must have read many times. And the ayat that says basically when the angels come to them in death and ask them, why are you here? And I think it was just on that particular occasion, that verse. I don't think, in fact, I don't think I was going through anything drastic in that particular time in life to actually wake me up to what that verse meant to me at the time.
Yes, and that's the thing as well for me. And I have an idea about that. I can't find, or he didn't mention what the number is, what part of the Quran it is, what surah it's within. But you can do your own due diligence and find on your own if you're really seriously wanting to know about this. These angels are going to question you on why you was in that country. So if you don't got everything correct and your T's in order and all that, as they say, everything in order, and you have some real clarity of that, you know why you're here, and it's something that does not have to do with you having to be here in that as they might most of us put into as exceptions to the rule of us being here. You got to be mindful and beware for that day. You have to. So I just wanted to make that clear, and I'm gonna get back to finishing up part, and hopefully we can finish this out. All right. Okay.
to go through any of that kind of what's the word, like confusion or anything, because for you it's clear.
It's clear.
And it's like once you have that mindset. Another one I was thinking of, I read actually before the interview about how some people say, as long as you can practice it, the deed, then you're doing a service by potentially attracting non-Muslims to Islam, which is like one of the maqasid of the religion. But then I was thinking, like, how much is the average, unless you're in a position of like an imam or someone, right? How much is the average Muslim doing? like advertising their Muslimhood? How much are they doing? Like they're living in their
Well,
own
I read
Muslim
that
community.
question as well, actually, right? And some of the scholars have said they've tried to define what practicing in Islam means. Yeah, some of them have gone down to the point where they've said, okay, well, you have to be able to hit it out to say that you're practicing. Yeah, you have to be able to enjoy the right and forbid the wrong to say that, you know what I mean, you're practicing your religion. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to be able to marry 4 wives in the place where you are to say that you're, because these are all tenets of the deen.
Now, as far as the 4 wives part, I know that's questionable, but I get what he's saying, and I hope you get what he's saying. I'm gonna stop here because it's 25 minutes in, past 25 minutes, almost going to 26 right now. So, but I just hope that you take heed, and use it for you to do the questioning to yourself and your family if you sit them down to, and if you're having struggles with being here and you know you should be in a Muslim lands, to whatever means that you need to do it, and get yourself back there or get yourself there if you never left. If you have a medical issue, then maybe that's your exception, and the exception will clear the rule. And Allah knows best. Allah is Al-Alim, Al-Basir. So just I hope you benefited from this, brothers and sisters. May the peace and blessings. Well, actually, I can say it now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm speaking to only the Muslims. Sometimes, you want to be able to speak on the level of the people. This is when you give dawah, when you talk to the non-Muslims, and you don't want to be like, condescending and just pushing your faith on them, and they don't understand what you're talking about. So that's when I say peace and blessings, keep up the lessons. That's just like a spoon feed to our non-Muslim human brothers and sisters of the human race, because we want them to know Islam is a beautiful faith. It's a faith of good, kind, and giving, more than what they say and they talk about as far as we're just aggressive and jihadis and all this. No, that's jihad is not even a main major part of Islam until it's needed. It has to be in its place, and it has to be followed according to Sharia rules. It can't just be however people want to do it. And these people who have been doing what they claim to be jihad is not jihad. It's political radicalism. It's all political radicalism, and they use Islam because they happen to probably be Muslim. They try to use Islam to give them an excuse. But we know anyway. That's a whole nother talk and a whole nother video. So I hope you get benefit from it. May Allah guide us continuously. Allahumma ameen. And until next time, your brother Taalib from the Brother Taalib Show. And click the like button, share the video, get it out, inshallah. And if you're not subscribed, then subscribe, inshallah. All right, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings, and keep up the lessons.